the WOD Pod. Join me as I sit down with CrossFitters, fitness experts, top coaches, professional athletes, and other well-known gym goers to listen to their journey through fitness. The first episode of Series 2 is with the co-founder of the Hybrid Academy, Rob McFall. Rob tells us his background into aerospace engineering, the reason for his career changes into functional fitness, and how he launched the Hybrid Academy clothing brand. With the teamwork from the other co-founder, John MaGill, the Hybrid Academy has quickly become the #1 functional fitness clothing brand in Ireland. Rob has launched his own functional fitness gym and he has big plans for Hyrox pairs in 2024.
Do you think anyone else is like you? Do you think anyone else has done this?
Blagging, yes. To that extent, probably not. Like, I was literally fixing passenger aircraft with a YouTube video. Like, it's a bit excessive.
Right, Rob, welcome to the pod. This is the first episode of Series 2. I really appreciate you flying over from Ireland all the way just to feature on the podcast.
Yeah, 100%. No, happy to be here. Excited. Been a long time since I've seen you, probably like a year and a half, probably a bit more.
Quite a while now.
Yeah.
How's life in Belfast?
Cold. It's actually colder here.
I know you're still shivering.
I know. It's freezing. No, it's good. Everything's flat out. So many fingers and so many pies, as they say. But yeah, happy going.
We'll discuss like everything fitness, or come on to that. Let's talk about your non-fitness related career first before we dive into fitness, CrossFit, etc.
Going back.
So yeah, a little flashback to your
previous
fitness career.
Previous fitness or previous just career in general?
Yeah, just what you did before. Okay, your engineering, I suppose.
Yeah, so I'd done an apprenticeship in aeronautical engineering, and then long story short, I finished my apprenticeship. I was out 2 months and I was like, I don't want to be here. I need to get out of this country more than anything. And then I botched my CV massively. Sorry to any employers that are watching this who've employed me before, but I properly botched my CV. Said I worked in live aircraft, and
it's not even a little one.
Never touched it. I was a fitter, literally put bolts in most of the time. And then I went on YouTube and learnt how to do mechanicking on YouTube, and then learned as much as I could about hydraulics and theory of flight, all this mad stuff, and then went over to this interview in Preston by myself when I was 19, just about 19, and got the job somehow.
Wow.
Like, I just wung it, and then heard back that I was going to Saudi Arabia in like 3 weeks after that, put my notice in, and I was out to Saudi when I was 20, so that started my career in aeronautical engineering. But I've always been quite of a sponge, like with information or learning something I'm interested in. I've always been really good retain knowledge quite fast, so I was able to get my experience up quite fast, and ended up junior supervisor within a 2-year mark, and then after that I sort of learned, I fell out of love with Saudi. It was just I was living on a compound kilometre by a kilometre, and it wasn't a really nice place for a 20-year-old.
Not really.
Being
No.
a load of dudes with no drink, no women.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what 21-year-old wants.
No, not at all.
So
just to rewind.
Yeah.
So 19 years old, you applied to go into engineering.
Yep.
Had you had any idea you wanted to do that before then?
So I'd done an apprenticeship, but it was like so the school I was in, it's a pretty rough school in Northern Ireland, but this is how much they plan for you to not go anywhere with your life. So in lower 6th, which would be like 5th year for us, I can't remember, one of our GCSEs was plumbing and joinery. So they're basically setting you up to be a labourer for the rest of your life. So they don't really put much belief in you at all. But like that, from that moment, everyone was like, get into this line of work because it will give you a job for life, like that sort of aspect. And I was like, right, sweet, I'll do an apprenticeship.
Yep.
So I've done an apprenticeship, and that's where it got me to there.
So it was a real blag to go to the next level.
Oh, massively. But again, as I said, I knew I was a sponge, so whenever I turned up to Saudi with a toolbox full of tools I didn't even know how to use, I was just like, please just teach me everything.
Yep.
And in that industry, if you're sound, if you're a good lad to be around and you're willing to learn, you'll always succeed.
You'll be fine, yeah.
Because people take you under their wing and they like to be around you, they want to teach you. And again, they taught me everything from the ground up, and it was a good place to learn there. Like, I learned everything from the jet, like stripping it right down and putting it back together again. It was fighter jets as well, so it was a pretty cool job. And then I got to go to Dubai, travel a bit from there as well, and then my CV got really good from there. And then I was able to look up other things after that, so I came back for a while, went to Amsterdam, worked in Amsterdam for 3 months. Went to back in Ireland for a while after that as well, and then went back to Italy. So I went to Italy, lasted there for about 2 years. That was whenever everything started to change in terms of jobs.
Did you ever work on like commercial aircraft?
Yeah, in Shannon I worked in commercial, doing like skin repairs. Again, this is when I worked in Shannon again. I'd never worked on the commercial aircraft, and I told them that I'd done sheet metal work, and I'd never done sheet metal work. And then there was a time where they told me to do a skin repair on this big airplane, like a 737 that carries actual passengers, and they were like, "Could you do a skin repair?" Big skin repair has been whacked into by like one of the wee trolleys, and I was like, "Yeah, sweet, yeah, no sweat." Got into this undercarriage, looked at it, I'm like, I don't know how to do this. So I got YouTube up again. Got YouTube up, put it in the corner between two stringers, and I was like, right, how we do this? And then just looking at it while I was working, I was like, right, do that. Oh, nope, done that wrong.
Do you think anyone else is like you? Do you think anyone else has done this? Or do you think it's quite common just to blag it and fix it on the job?
Blagging, yes. To that extent, probably not. Like, I was literally fixing passenger aircraft with a YouTube video. Like, it's a bit excessive. I don't think anyone had the stones to do it though.
No,
and it worked every time. I never really got caught, and I was actually always good at my work. Like, it was always one of the better ones.
Fine.
I would have done. I just took the chances that no one else really did.
Do you think aircrafts are as safe as people think they are?
Oh, nowhere near. Honestly, if you seen the things that I seen in that industry, you would be shitting your pants flying every time. There was one time I was in an aircraft. It was a Aegean Airlines in Greece. So I was working on a plane. I was changing the undercarriage of the front wheel on the undercarriage. So I was the first one on it. He was like, right, I need to take the wheel out. So there's two pintle pins, one at the top, one at the bottom. One on the top, one on the bottom. The pintle pins basically hold the wheel in. They're big, massive pins that size. So took the bottom one out, sweet. Went up to take the top one out. I was like, yo, is there someone already take us out? And they were like, no, you're the first one in there. I'm like, no pin in this. So literally the whole undercarriage of this commercial aircraft carrying 300 people was held in by one bit of metal this size. It's just nuts.
Wow.
And like, it came into full investigation, and that place was nuts. This was in Shannon and Lufthansa. There was another time as well where I was working on an aircraft, and next minute there was like police, everything just got brought into the hangar, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And there was a big block of cocaine found underneath a panel in an aircraft coming from Colombia to Shannon, and it was something like 150 grand's worth of cocaine found in this place, and some sad act fucking give it into them.
I was going to say, were the engineers all productive that day?
Yeah, proper productive. Yeah, I've got a picture of it. I'll see if I can send you, and you can pop it up on the screen. But like, there was a picture of the big block of coke that they found. It's mad. But yeah, you see
just rubbing
things.
It.
Yeah. Can't believe you give it in. Put it straight in the black market.
Yeah, straight away. You retire there and then.
Yeah, 100%. Pre-workout for a year.
So how long were you an engineer then before you decided to change career?
5, 6, 7 years
and
total.
What prompted that change? When did you think this is enough?
So lockdown was when I started. So I was in Italy, and we were out of work because I was in Lombardy region. Remember when COVID hit, the Italian region of Lombardy was completely locked down. There was military shutting everything down, so that's where I was. So it was a bit mental, and we couldn't get in and out of work. So it was 2 months out of work. They said we didn't have any work for a while, and I had a bit of money saved up. Me and mate John, he was a suit salesman at the time, selling the weddings and stuff. So he didn't have any weddings to sell to. So we both had to work for a while. So we thought we'd put our heads together and do something different. I've always been interested in fashion. Like, fashion's always been a massive part. I've always wore like fashionable items. I've always invested in cool clothes and stuff. I've always thought about doing it, but just never had the time or balls probably to do it.
Yep.
And then when that time hit, we were like, right, well, what can we do? And we bought a t-shirt. I think John bought a t-shirt from, do you know Easy Muhammad? Do you remember him? OG CrossFitter, strong as fuck, such a proper OG. Anyway, he released a line called Lift Heavy Often, and he got a t-shirt from America. It was 50 quid including customs. Came, and it was absolutely dog shit.
Yeah.
And we were like, surely we can do better.
Yeah, perfect example of just has a following,
Yep.
has something about them that people want to buy into, they don't necessarily want to buy the t-shirt, they just want to buy something related to that person.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, we looked at that thinking we could definitely do better than this. So I was doing a bit of research with like Alibaba and sourcing, and I was going to do gym equipment just before it boomed. That would have been a good investment too. But I went into Alibaba and I found suppliers. So I went to 10 different suppliers. I was like, I had a design, went to the 10 different suppliers, got 10 different samples. They all came. I was in Italy at the time, so they got the samples. They tried it all on. 9 were absolute dog shit. 1 was unbelievable, and it's still the same supplier that we use to this day. So yes, it was a good bit of luck that got us to where we needed to be, but at the same time, everyone has that brush of luck when they're doing business. Like, you need that outlying situation.
And if all 10 were shit, you'd have then kept going until you found the one and probably keep using them forever.
Yeah, so I would say so.
It just
either that or just stop and go back to your jobs. So like, again, like, it could have completely turned. If we got 20 wrong items or wrong samples, we might have got to the point where like, there's no point in this, we're shit at this.
Yep.
Like, because it was like the first hurdle. And a lot of people fault the first hurdle. Yeah. Whereas we were very lucky because it was the first hurdle very fast, and we're like, right, we can actually do this. And then we launched. So that was when Hyrox started. We started selling to our friends. So we got 100 t-shirt made. We had the white t-shirt first. We got 100 made. We sold 100 to our friends within the first week. Just friends and family and people in the CrossFit industry, because we're always like in the world of competing anyway.
Yeah. So were you and John? How long have you done CrossFit before?
John done CrossFit for a while. I was just sort of slow into it.
Yeah,
I was probably doing it for about 2 years. Not really competitive as much. John was competing by then. He was doing really well. I was always working more than I was training back then. And then whenever Hyrox started training a bit more, take it more seriously, as you need to like show that you are in that scene.
I do think a lot of brand owners don't do that. They kind of think that they're involved in what they're selling, but they're not necessarily
leading from the front.
Or leading from the front. And you see that a lot with brands. So I think it's a smart thing to do, is go, you know what, if I'm going to be pushing a functional fitness CrossFit brand, at least I'm going to do it.
Yeah, 100%. And it's like, again, if I'm willing to wear my stuff to compete at that level, then someone else will, and it'll show like an example. Again, at that time, we were good in Ireland, but in the grand scheme of things, we were probably good in like the UK or in Europe by then. And then, so anyway, the white t-shirts, we launched with them, went to our friends first, and then they all sold. And then when we had done that, we got the black and the beige with 100 t-shirts of each of them. Then we launched it online, and we sold the t-shirts really fast. We got rid of them pretty fast, and then we got socks in. Pretty much sold out every launch until we got more items in. And when we started doing so I had an idea. Do you remember the brand Supreme?
Yep.
So they launched with like limited items.
Yep.
So we'd launch something stupid like staplers, like 2 staplers. They're 100 quid each. But like, even I was looking at that, like, I don't need a stapler, but I want it. Like, because there's only 2. Exactly. And I want to be one of 2 people who own that. So we started thinking the same way. Like, how could we make ourselves look a lot bigger than what we are?
Yep.
And only launch with the same amount of items, with the same amount of cash flow. So we had the 100 items. We says there's only 100 here. Once they're gone, and we're never going to make that color ever again. So we never made white, never made black, never made beige again. We just started making other colors after that. So when we sold them, kept on doing that, and then ordered more. So 150 next time, then 200, then 300, and then eventually we started building the email list.
We said the black, white, beige. Was that just on that design? I was going to say
that was the original hybrid. Yeah.
But so you did like black, white, beige only on that design, not on every clothing. So I was thinking, if you eliminate,
just on the t-shirts.
Okay.
Yeah, just on the t-shirts.
So since then, you've never released a black t-shirt.
No. Well, black but different color writing.
Fine.
Do you know what I mean?
So it's just okay. So that design is a one-off.
So it's never been the same color twice. And then I just kept on doing that until we started an email list. Whenever the email list started, we got a good few following, and then we said, right, we're only going to launch these 2-3 new t-shirts to the email list. And then we launched these 3, and they all sold out in the email list. They didn't even reach the website. And it was at that point we were like, okay, we've got a brand. We have a brand of a following who want to invest in us.
How did you and John get on at the start? Was it easy?
Yeah. When we started, we were both out of work, so we had so much time. I think things started to get complicated when we went back to work.
Okay. So you started this in lockdown?
Yeah.
So then, did you go back to engineering?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I was engineering, it was a 66-hour week, every week.
Okay.
And then I trained, and then I done that on the side. So I was working like massive hours.
So I imagine when you've had 66 hours of engineering and then you go to nothing in lockdown, you're thinking, I've got so much time on my hands because you're used to working so much.
Yeah, and the gyms are shut as well.
So
much time.
100%.
But then again, you take on so much time. So basically like starting a new job over lockdown, and then when you get back to work, we were trying to do it both. Oh my God, it was hectic because me and John's always done everything ourselves. We never had anyone helping us until the first probably 2 years after. And but yeah, like that was pretty much the start of it then.
So the brand's 3 years old.
Yep. September there.
Yep. Who came up with the name?
So Hybrid Academy, we had a group chat, like all lads do probably, but we called, so John always done different sports. He done powerlifting competitively, done rugby, done bodybuilding competitively, and then he done CrossFit as well. So he always called himself, before hybrid training even became a thing, he said he was a hybrid athlete because he done all these different sports. And then
because I think you launched Hybrid Academy before hybrid training became
100%
what it is.
100%. I think that's why we caught a wave there as well.
Yeah.
Especially now. But yeah, so he called himself the John MaGill Hybrid Academy, and then the group chat then was called the Hybrid Academy.
Right.
And when we were looking for a name, we're going through all these shitty names, and thank God we never took them because they were all so bad. And then one day we just looked at the top of our screen, we're like, what about the Hybrid Academy? And he was like, ding, it's like a light bulb moment. It was class. And then ever since then we got a logo design, and then that was it. But it's pretty cool because it's proper organic name, like rather than stealing it or trying to just
think of something that
ponder up something. You know what I mean?
Yep. So when you first started, how did you split the roles? When you how did you decide which person did which? Because I imagine it's probably really useful having a business partner.
Yeah.
But also just makes it harder because you've got to know, you've got to be on sync with who's doing which role.
Yeah.
How did you divide the elements of the business?
Well, it was always good at the start because me and John were both mad work ethic. Like we're both dogs. Like we both loved working, and anything we'd done, we were always grafters. So it was almost at the start, it's like fighting to do jobs. Like I want to do that. No, I want to do that. Rather than no, you do that. You do that. So that was good to have that problem, whereas other brands probably didn't have that issue. But whenever I said we have no experience in business, we had zero experience in business. Like everything I've learned from then to now is pure experience and losing so many times or having a problem and fixing it myself. Like it's just making more mistakes more than your competitors, faster than your competitors, and recovering from it and learning from it and then progressing more. So like everything we've learned from then is just been from our own issues. But in terms of jobs at the start, he was always the man on the ground. So he was described as the man on the ground because I was behind a computer. I'd done the website, I'd done the marketing, I'd done anything that you had to open a laptop or your phone to do. Whereas he was the more networking guy, going to the events, face to face, selling, trying to get the merch out there. That was his job. So it was quite an easy split that way. Because he was always more extroverted. I was very much introverted. I never really liked doing the social side of things. Like my social clock ran out so fast.
I'll come on to your business owning a gym, which is very much the face of the brand. Before you came here, actually, I had a message from John about the podcast, and John just said, "Well, I'll send you some questions over to ask Rob on the podcast that you can't edit out." So
can go both ways here.
So John said, "How many small disagreements have you had this year?"
That's a massive question. I couldn't even put a number on it. I said it's weekly, but again, it's like those sort of arguments where we'd have an argument and it's sorted within like an hour, but there's just loads of them because whenever I said earlier about I done everything behind a computer, he does everything face to face. There's so much separation there, but it means there's so much difference in their personalities and our own ethos as a person. So there will be a lot of clash in there, but at the same time, it's probably what makes the brand the way it is now because I'll have the he'll have the spontaneity, I'll have the more grounded stuff. I'll have the more logical things to do, he'd have the more sporadic things to do. Like it's good to have the mix.
It sounds like you balance out each other very well.
Yeah, it's a yin and yang in a way.
And then he said ask Rob to discuss the very bad Black Friday.
Oh fuck! Our website crashed. This was this second year of hybrid.
So this was Black Friday 2021.
You know fair and well how much Black Friday means to any e-commerce business.
It's huge.
It's massive, and this is our first time having stock for Black Friday, and we're ready for it. And we put so much work into it. And as I said before, I was the one behind the computer, so I was doing everything done e-commerce. So I was putting the website together. I tried to be sexy and put passwords in the website so you can only access it from the email, and just doing really saucy stuff to make things more exclusive. So again, probably making it more complicated what I needed to, but it was still cool. So we launched it. So the plan was launch the email list at 9, then launch at 12 midnight for everyone else, just to give that exclusivity. So 3 hours early access,
encouraging email signups.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're ready for it, and then we tried to launch at 9 p.m. and the website crashed. I don't know if it was the volume or the theme that we're using on Shopify. I have no idea, but like there were so many people. There was about 60 emails within like 4 minutes. It was just mayhem. And then I didn't know how to fix it, so I'd done all the website myself. So I didn't know who to phone. I didn't know how to do anyone. So I just started Googling web developers, and I got like 3 web developers, and then
on Black Friday, they'd have been like just rubbing their hands together.
To be fair, like, so it's actually a cool story, because one of the web developers that I got, Jake, shout out to Jake, he's a goat. He fixed the problem we were having within like, I think it was 2 hours or 3 hours. So again, we had these like inundated emails for 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm trying. I actually went on to the Instagram story and said, sorry guys, like our website's down, like I'm trying my best, like, but it looks like I'm literally in tears when I'm saying it. And then whenever, you
probably were.
Yeah, I literally was. And then John, he didn't message me once because he knew that I was the cheese was slipping off my cracker, like like I was going there. So he didn't even message me because he knew I was throwing a full whopper.
It's also the last thing you want to post to.
Oh, it's brutal.
It, like, not only does it look unprofessional, but it's like, this is, I've built up to this point. Yeah. The last thing I want to be posting out there is like,
so much work.
Sorry guys.
Yeah, so much work.
And you know that people might be fine with you posting it, and they probably won't be too annoyed that they can't buy something, but you just know it's loss of sales. So it's like, you can't get Black Friday back until next year.
Yeah, exactly. So, but to be fair, when we launched, so it ended up 11 o'clock, it was 2 hours late. And when we launched, it was manic, because I think even me posting on the stories and showing that we crashed because of the volume of
suddenly
people, is everyone wanted it.
Yep.
Know what I mean? It created like a wave. So after 11 o'clock, we were averaging like £100 a minute or something stupid.
Are you sure this wasn't your genius marketing?
Yeah, like,
we're going to fake the website crashing.
No, we're just dumb as fuck. So yeah, like, it ended up, we did make a good turn out of it, and it did set us up big time. That Black Friday was huge, but it was just a big experience. And like, what I was saying is a funny story, because the guy Jake who fixed our website ended up making us a full new website next year, and he's our web developer.
So if it didn't happen, you would have met him.
Yeah. So there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly, and it's not quite as bad. So I'm getting a couple of weeks time. I'm going down to I can't remember where Wolverson are based. I'm going on to speak to the guys at Wolverson Fitness.
Nice.
And they said that they had a really bad Black Friday last year.
Right.
Because not only their website crashed, but it got hacked. So someone had hacked their website, so they couldn't even get in. So I look forward to that Black Friday. Yeah, imagine how bad that would be. So not only have your website's down, but it's also you can't get control of it. And that was Wolves and Fitness, which is
huge.
Big. So I look forward to that story. That's at least you're not as bad as them.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that.
What were some difficulties that you had to overcome in your early stages? So like, what were some things that went wrong, or a couple of stories that you might have?
So many things went wrong, honestly. Like whenever, like we winged it for the first, I'd say, 1.5 years. Like we were just trying to have two lads having a ball. Things went wrong. There's countless, so many things. I'm trying to think of one or two funny ones. John lost the key. Remember, you were definitely there. It was our first event in England, the Lake District. District
I wasn't there. No, I'm going there this year though.
Sick comp, really enjoyed it. It was his first ever comp.
George, I can't remember his name.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
no.
It was our first one anyway, and we went out and I bought a truck. I bought like a imported Nissan Elgrand. It was like a
Nice.
3.6 litre V8. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
mega. I loved it, but it was so impractical. It was like 2 miles a gallon. Shocking. But yeah, we took that over to this event. First event, we're buzzing. We had a full stock in the truck. We had like cabanas, like hammocks and all this mad stuff because it was the summer. And then we went to the accommodation, woke up, buzzing, couldn't wait. Went to jump in the truck. Where's the key? We're like, who has the key? And I was like, John, you have the key? He's like, I don't have the key. And then we're all fighting. He's like, who had the key? And we finalised that John had the key, but he's lost it and we can't find it. So we got to Tesco, so we had a rental car on that. So we drove the rental car to Tesco's because we were in Tesco's the night before. I think we lost the key there, so we're underneath all the fucking aisles of Tesco's looking for this key, asking everyone to find the key, and we couldn't find it anywhere. Got a locksmith out. This is like the event's already started by now. And then got the locksmith out. He came to do the lock, so he popped the lock, got inside the car, thinking we locked it inside the car, looked inside the car, couldn't find it anywhere. It's like, fuck, where is this? We were thinking, right, we need to phone another rental van or something to get the van here so we can go to the event and make some money at least. So we're there for another, I think it was 12 o'clock. The event started at 9. So
Yeah, you've missed. Well,
went to jump
it's not too bad.
Yeah, went to jump in the rental car, and Daniel was in the back seat, and he was like, just put the hand in the back of the seat, in the wee pocket. There was the key. So 3 hours later, John put the key in the back of the seat, and we just steamed it to the event, like 3 hours late. First event we've ever done. They set up a stall, but it was a fucking cracking day, and
So when you're skidding in the Nissan round the corner, at least people are like, oh shit, they're here.
Yeah,
so
it was
not
like
too
some
bad.
Tokyo Drift. Yeah, it was. That was just one of them. But again, like offhand, I can't think of many other. Like, there's so many things that went wrong in so many scenarios. But again, I think the things with business and entrepreneurship, it's who can make the more mistakes earlier and recover from them will build a better business.
Yeah.
Because like, you're going to make mistakes before everyone else has.
And it's also how you learn from the mistake.
You're never going to make it again.
Because like, everyone will make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's just who are the people that make it twice?
Yeah.
Who are the people that don't make it again? Who learns from it?
Yeah.
To not do it again.
John's got his keys like strapped on.
Yeah, I was going to say he's never driving again.
No.
Is he? Speaking of District L, you should definitely do that one.
Yeah, sick.
So I'm going this year.
WOD Powders team.
Yeah.
Saying?
We could do a team. There's a team space.
Yeah.
So if you want to jump in, I can fill it pretty quick.
Yeah.
But in terms of being a vendor, yeah, I think it'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be sick. We'd love to. Again, it's more nostalgia as well. Like, it might not be as big as the event that what we want to. Like, we're going to go to SID and European Championships this year, but like, for nostalgia, because that was our first ever event, we'd definitely do it for sure.
Obviously, you mentioned off the pod that you're looking to bring Hybrid Academy more into the UK.
Yep.
What are your plans for 2024?
So 2024, as you said, UK is going to be a massive factor. So we're pretty much dominant in Ireland. There's no one really in the CrossFit scene that's doing what we're doing. We're trying to get more into athleisure, so you can see that even the jumper I'm wearing now, you'd wear it with jeans pretty easily. Like, we're going to more athleisure wear, things you can wear out as well as going to the gym. So we're trying to get into that space, and I think Manchester, London, Leeds, all the major cities in England are going to want these products more, and we've never had the time or the budget to be able to push it in this country purely because we have to get over here, see the events and stuff, like the boat, the truck. Now we've got like a third-party logistics company sorting our stock so they can send our stock to the events in England, so we're just at the right time. Like, I'm very analytical when it comes to like the business and making sure everything is perfectly lined up to progress. Like, if I jump too early, I might miss a ledge. If I jump too late, I'm going to miss.
And there are
all
so
the
many
stuff.
factors you have to have ready.
Huge.
Like, you can't just think, I've got most of them there, because the 2 or 3 things you forget can absolutely fuck up the
and
whole
it's again
event.
having the stock levels and having the athletes to push it and having the trust with, like, now we're going with an army from Ireland. Like, if we go to an event likes of CrossFest, or what you call it, is it CrossFest? No,
there is CrossFest. FitFest is coming up. It's in next weekend. It's on the 9th.
So like those big
9th,
events, like, we have a team there, like, of athletes that are phenomenal in Ireland. You got Keelan Coleman, you got Mickey Smith, you got all the big dogs. Like, we could bring a monster team over with us to make a noise.
Yep.
So that's the plan this year. We're going to go big events. We'll go to turf games. We've got strength and depth. We've got everything in our horizon that we're going to go to the big ones and make some noise. Like,
are you going to go with a team of athletes, or are you going to go like as a vendor, or both? Or okay.
Yeah, as I said, like, I want to make sure if we do anything like this, it's going to be big, and it's going to make, like, use it as a marketing budget as well as exposure. So I don't really care if we don't make money at the event, if it's making more noise with the marketing. Like, it's a valid expense. So as I said, when we go over, we're going to bring an Irish army, and we're trying to push that wave that we create in Ireland over to here and show everyone here what we're about.
Any exclusives about the brand before we move on to your gym? Any exclusive about the brand for the podcast listeners? This will be going out probably the first week of January.
Yeah, we can definitely do a code. So what would do? WOD Powder 10? WOD Powder 10?
We could do a WOD Powders, WOD Pod, probably WOD Pod.
WOD Pod 10. Let's do that. 10. WOD Pod 10 for 10% off. Our whole range. Let's do that. There's a few new products coming. By the time, when's this podcast coming out?
Start of January.
January, perfect. So all our winter ranges come out. So there's Sherpa jackets, beanies, hoodies. We've got these 6 snoods, man. Oh, the snoods. They've got like a Sherpa fleece that are super soft. And that is what you want on a comp day when it's freezing. Oh, mate, especially when it comes to CrossFit gyms. There's no heating in those bitches. Like,
no, none.
And then we've got our joggers coming back in, our performance joggers, which are phenomenal for lifting in. They're probably one of our best selling products, and we've been making sure we get the right ones in this time.
Cool.
Colours.
WOD Pod 10.
WOD Pod 10.
I'll be using that. Let's move on to the functional coach.
Yeah. So again, that it just blew up. Like, I started this as a side hustle. So whenever I moved back,
because you were doing engineering, you went back to engineering.
Yeah.
Still doing Hybrid Academy.
Yeah, so I just thought, how can I make my life even more hectic by creating another business? So I was thinking, like, Hybrid was doing really well this time. It was 2 years in, and I was like, right, if I'm gonna push Hybrid to what I think I can do it to, I need to be present for it. I can't do it in Italy. Like, I can't do it far away. I wasn't even getting back and forward that much anymore because of the COVID situation. So I thought, what do I know? What do I know more than what I do know about aircraft? By then, I actually did know about aircraft.
Yeah. I was going to say, if you still didn't know anything after 4 or 5 years.
So I was like, right, fitness. Like, we've both done, like, I've done being an athlete for a while, so I think I could coach people how to be. I was coaching people like online, just friends like Adam, stuff like that there. So I thought, right, I'll put all my savings into a gym back home and start a side hustle of the gym to give me a wage where I can push Hybrid to as much as I can. So
that's the thing.
That's where that started.
When you can create another business that also promotes another business you have, it's a win-win.
100%. And like, a lot of the people who knew us from Hybrid knew we trained like dogs, and they wanted to know how we done it. So whenever I became a coach, people were like, oh, I want to train like him. And then I coached them how to train. So a lot of CrossFit beginners and people who, so my speciality at the start was converting people from bodybuilders to CrossFit, because that's what I'd done myself. So creating the range of movement, the mobility, very much focused purely on mobility for most people. That's where the functional coach came a thing, because I was really analytical about people moving correctly before they'd done CrossFit movements, because you know yourself, it's a very high skilled sport, and you're doing like Olympic lifts, which is literally an Olympic sport, and people are coming off bodybuilding who's only done bench press for 4 years, going in and doing a snatch. It's just not safe. So I took everything I loved about CrossFit and took everything I loved about bodybuilding and try to amalgamate into one, a safe place where people can progress everything together, rather than get really good at cardio, then really shit at lifting, and get really good at lifting and get really shit at cardio, instead of like just bringing everything up together. So I put all my savings into my gym, literally everything I had. It was, I'll never forget the day I bought all my gym equipment. It was like 15 grand of gym equipment, and I was in work and I bought it all, click, and then within half an hour I got this mad stomach pain, like nothing I've ever felt before, to a point I was crippled. Like, I had folded over where I couldn't walk right. I was walking like Gollum. And then I went to my boss, waddled up to my boss in his office, and I was like, man, I need to go home. I feel like so bad. I think there's something wrong with me. I need to go to hospital or something. And he was like, yeah, go. You look like shit, pretty much. So had to walk to the car, which is like 500 meter away. Waddled to the car, got into the car, put Luke Combs in the radio because
chills you out.
Yeah, chills me out. And then started to drive home, and I was like, right, I'm not going to hospital. I'll just go home, try to take a shit or something. I don't know what, something that'll suit my belly here. And I got back to the house, opened the car door, got out, and I was like, fuck, this is completely normal, like nothing wrong with me. And I was like, what on earth is going wrong with me here? So it's obviously the stress of doing that, like, so far out of the comfort zone into the panic zone
straight away.
Yeah,
it's like crippling anxiety.
Yeah,
almost.
crippling.
Like,
but
it's
again,
just the fear of,
yeah, it's a fear of failure. Like
here
when
we
you
go.
start any business, like people don't want to do it because they fear failure. Not even fear of failure. So that's a thing that I thought it was, but it's you fear the consequences of failure. So I looked at this after thinking, what am I scared of? Failing. What's the consequences of failure? How can I eradicate those consequences? So for me, coming back, I need a wage. So what I needed to do, so I got 10 clients before I even came back. I got my gym sorted. So I bought all the gym equipment. I came back every week from Italy for about 2 months, built my gym gradually, got all my mates in, everyone helped me, John, Dan, everyone in, my mum as well, just helped me paint everything, and then got everything set up. And then I said to myself, I want 10 clients before I come back. I need 10 clients, 10 paying £100, whatever they need to. That'll give me my wage that I can live. So got my 10 clients, eradicated every fear I had because I knew I had I had an income whenever I came back. Again, it might only be for a month, I don't know, but then jumped ship.
It's a better starting point than having nothing.
That was whenever I jumped ship and made the gym.
And how many people will still be doing the same job that they were doing that they didn't really like because of the fear of they don't take that risk?
Yeah, 100%.
So many people will still be caught up in, well, I've been doing this for a while, so I better stick it out.
But again, like if anyone is listening in that boat where they don't know when to do it, like do exactly what I did, where you wait to the right time, where you're getting the same, you eradicate those consequences of failure. So I eradicated those by getting those clients in. When I got those clients in, it gets you so much more peace of mind, and you know that you can do it. Most people's problem when they jump into entrepreneurship is they jump too early. And when you have financial stress, it's probably the most stress, but it's the most impactful stress you can have, my opinion is. So when you have financial stress about the job you love, you're going to have resentment to that job, and you're not going to love it as much. So you need to eradicate the financial stress first, making sure you're getting enough for your job now, or that you're going into, that you're just going to cover you for your job you're leaving. If you can't do that, it's not the right time to jump. Like I took a big price cut because I was doing contract, and contract was good money, like. But I was willing to do that. I had savings. I made sure I made a spreadsheet. I remember making a spreadsheet. It's like, can Rob afford to go home? So it's all my income, what I'd be earning, making sure how much I needed to earn before I could definitely afford to go home, pay for all my direct debits, and live comfortably without having stresses. So again, like it's just biding your time, getting the right time to do it.
When did you get Dan Crawford on board?
Wasn't for a year. So again, this side hustle started just to support hybrid. So I was making just enough ends meet to get hybrid off, like get going, so I'm on the ground with John. I was doing that for about a year and a half by myself, and it got to the point where I had enough people. I was doing small groups, and I was like, this something could go here, like it's going really well, and I've got enough members where I could definitely scale a business here. So I could do it myself. Like hybrid is a full-time job, functional coaching is a full-time job. So I asked Dan to come on board.
How did you know Dan?
So I done my apprenticeship with him.
Right, okay.
He actually went to my school a year above, but we didn't really talk together in school. But we done our apprenticeship together, so I've known him for years, and he's been part of the group as well, the Hybrid Academy. He's always an athlete with us as well. So
okay, so you knew him before. He was already interested in that.
Dan's a beast as well when it comes to fitness. Like he's always been the one that we all chase. Like he's he's up there. Like but yeah, whenever he came in, I was 2 years into functional coach, and he has now left his job now as well, so he's jumped ship, done the exact same thing I done. Again, we bided our time. He done it on the side, so he done night classes and morning classes while he had his full-time job with the 3-day week, and then we bided our time, and I says, right, we're earning enough now where you can jump ship and you get the same money as what you were getting before, so let's do it now. And then we just,
and also growth. To swap a job to earn the same amount as money doing something you love is an absolute no-brainer.
Exactly.
Like, you'd swap it for a smaller salary, let alone the same amount. So
it doesn't feel like you're working when you're doing that, like, at all. So like and again, it's so much more scalable whenever you feel like you're not working.
Yep. Is the plan for you to always be a coach?
Oh, that's a good question.
So if hybrid took off,
do you know what? I love coaching. Like, I love everyone in the gym, and I love the idea of showing people how to move better and be better. In terms of coaching, I would still do it, but maybe not so much on the gym floor. I'd maybe coach people on how to run gyms, like being a mentor, with business mentor or some sort of some in that sector. But I would always like to own the gym. Just the idea of owning a gym is something I always wanted to do. Like, I think every gym boy when they're younger,
it's also a place to train. It's a place to train whenever you want to train. So 100%. You've got that benefit.
Yeah.
How do you manage to split your time now between Hybrid Academy and your gym?
Very hard. Very supportive girlfriend who, like, having someone there who understands that my hectic lifestyle, and she just stays around me and lets me do what I need to do to get by life. Like, I'm never sitting still, which must be very stressful. Having friends around me again, that we are in a nice place with more friends that Dan and John, where if I'm slipping off the gas, they pull on the gas. If they're slipping off the gas, I pull on the gas. It's always reciprocated what we're doing. I call it the hybrid. The growth is inevitable with hybrid. It was our motto for a while there as well. It's like, anyone in our circle who's been part of hybrid in any way has been brought up to exponentially. Like, perfect example is Jordan, our content creator now. Whenever he started, he got his first camera, like, when we started hybrid, and he started doing like shits with us, like, just, he had a drone, stuff like that. They were just doing it on his spare time. He was a warehouse guy, he's working in a warehouse in Black Box, and then he got his first camera, and we bought him a lens for him to get better content. And then he got so good so fast, and then eventually got a job at Black Box as a being content creator for them. And then we were like, go, like, fucking go, like, you've done this yourself, do it. And then he left for like a year and a half, got really good at what he does, like, shot in March on, shot at like all the big name gyms in England. And then he got to the point where he's like, I need to go freelance. And then the first people he contacted was us. We were his first trainer, and we said, take him back in a heartbeat. But
you put him in that position to begin with, in a way.
Well, so, in a way, yes, but in a way, like, it was all him. Like, he is such a talented dude, like, ridiculously talented. It was all him, but we just sort of put him on a platform where he could do it, and he could have flair. We didn't pay him, like, we couldn't pay him. We didn't have enough money. So he done us a favor just as much as we done him. But again, it's that circle of growth. Like, everyone who worked with us in the past, like all of us have done well. Like, the guy who we started hybrid with, there's another guy, Ryan, he actually started hybrid with us at the start.
Right, okay.
But he got bought out pretty quick just because he had a family, and me and John were going ham. We were like, let's buy this, let's buy that, $3,000 here, $4,000 there. And Ryan was like, I've got 2 kids and a family, I can't do this. So we bought him out pretty soon. But like, now he's also got a gym now, and again, like, being around people who like-minded, who want to push you, even Adam, like it's just a really good circle of people who want you to do well.
Exactly.
And it's so important for growth, so important.
I also know another videographer that when I met had about 3 clients, he's now got 30. So it's the same scenario, you know.
100%, but you're around people who want you to do well, like genuinely want you to do well. There's so many people who don't actually want you to do well. But not mention those sort of people, but like people who want you to do well and want each other.
The people that don't want you to do well exist in the masses. You know, the majority of people don't.
But they'll never do well.
No.
Like, it's that network of people. Like, I know if I need, like, I've never been the smartest guy. I said that at the start. Like, I've just botched a lot of things in my life. And I said I learn really fast, but I've picked the right people to work with. I do things for people I know that can do stuff for me in the return. Like, I've got good friends that are accountants, good friends that are marketers. Like, these are all people who've worked with us since then. And again, it's having that circle as a business of people you can go to for help that don't mind helping you, because you know if they needed you for anything, you're there.
You're covered. Last question about the gym then. What are the plans for the next couple of years? Like, where do you see the gym going? Is it max capacity? Is it...
Well, we said, we've got 75 members in less than a year. in the CrossFit world, that's fucking massive. Especially for a small town that we're in. I'd say it's only going one way as well. We're going to get another premise next year, I'd say.
Right,
We're definitely going to grow out of that premise we're in now. It's quite small. I'd like to say that I'd like to split it into bodybuilding style classes, so functional bodybuilding, Marcus Philly style shit.
Yep.
And then having a CrossFit affiliate downstairs. So having upstairs for bodybuilding, having downstairs for CrossFit, and making a clear sort of split between the two, just so there's no affiliation sort of problems and stuff. And again, create an environment where they can amalgamate, so everyone's a big community, but they have the choice to do low skill movements and high skill movements.
I was going to say they do still transfer as different sports they are. They do transfer over.
Oh, massively
on so many levels.
But some people don't want to do CrossFit. This is the thing. Like, CrossFit's class, but people who are 40 years old, work in an office, come in, they do not want to do jumping pull-ups for fucking an hour. Know what I mean? Like, they don't want to do it. So I'm giving people an option. It's like, you can come and do an upper body workout with a little bit of a finisher at the end. That'll get you a better stimulus and make you feel fantastic after, rather than watch someone do bar muscle-ups beside you while you're doing jumping pull-ups
feeling
or doing
shit.
ring rows. Feeling like I look like a bell end here. Like,
know
what I mean? Like, it's having that option. Like, if you think of CrossFit, this is why everyone's jumped into Hyrox here now, because there's no
middle ground.
There's no middle ground. There's no regression from CrossFit. You have to go back into functional fitness or
bicep curls.
Bicep curls. There's no regression.
Yeah.
But Hyrox is a perfect regression where you get all the people who don't want to do the high skill movements because they haven't got the mobility, they haven't got the skill, they don't want to have any intentions of going into the gym after a hard day's work and being humbled by a movement that they can't do.
Attempting handstand walks while someone does full lengths.
It's humbling, and don't be wrong, I love that shit. I love being humbled. It gets me through the day, but not everyone is like that. Most
people want to finish their job, go for a 40-minute workout, of which 20 minutes they're moving, release some endorphins, feel good, go home.
100%.
Like, that's it. It doesn't need to be high-skilled, technical.
Yeah.
They're not athletes, they're just regular gym goers that have full-time jobs.
Exactly. And again, if they get injured, like, you're teaching people who are 40 years of age who've maybe never even done exercise in their life to do an Olympic lift that puts their shoulders in the most dangerous position they could be in. Like, it's just mad.
So plans a hybrid gym.
Could well be the affiliate if we ever do that. There's definitely grounds for it. The amalgamation is definitely going to be there. Maybe a rebrand with functional coaching, possibly. I don't know.
I'm just thinking you're merging bodybuilding and CrossFit.
Yeah,
making it hybrid.
I've always said I've wanted a hub in Ireland that has everything. Like, having a hub there that has a gym, has hybrid shop, has like a showground almost for athletes to come to from all around. So have people coming across for a competition or like a visit. It's just cool, like Alpha Land or Gymshark HQ, like that sort of vibe. There's nothing like that in Ireland, which I think there's definitely a gap for.
Moving on to your personal CrossFit career, or
you could call
where
it.
You're at now. You did Madrid Championships. How was that?
Mental. It was like probably that was the first elite comp I've ever done.
It looked heavy.
It was a monster comp. And like, when you're looking across at Noah and Chandler beside you.
Well, that worm looked heavy.
Oh, mate. That worm tore me a butthole. Like,
compared to the Wadland, which is the Wadland worm's like 120 kilos.
It was 160.
Yeah,
it was sick. It was sickening. And again, don't be wrong, humbled, but I hate losing, man. There's not many competitions I would do that I don't know I'm going to get, or I'm not confident I'm going to get podium. Like, I wouldn't enter a competition unless I know I'm going to get podium. It's just not my ethos as a person to compete and not try to win. Not have a chance of winning. So that was the first competition I was going into thinking, we're never going to win this, but it's a good experience. You're getting toe to toe with some of the best athletes in the world, and you get to have the experience of it.
Have you got any more in the pipeline?
So I took a break from CrossFit now. Purely because it was too busy with work. I wasn't being able to recover to be able to train what I needed to train to be good at CrossFit.
To compete,
So, like, to be a competitive CrossFitter, you need to be doing
full time.
Yeah, full time, 4 hours per day, morning, evenings. Morning, evenings, doing really really hard graft pretty much, and pretty much takes up your time. Recovery days have to be completely zero stress, low impact, where I just couldn't do that. Like I can't recover because of stress. I'm in work or whatever. I can't recover my muscles fast enough. So I get to the point of getting so many niggles, like back niggles, told me a doctor, wrecked my shoulder, and I was like, what am I doing this for? I finished flipping, I think 18th in Ireland one year, big deal. Like that's not going to do anything for me in terms of business, lifestyle, anything.
And if you did want to get to top 3, you wouldn't be you wouldn't be spending any time on your work.
What am I going to sacrifice? What am I have to sacrifice to be there? Like my business is going to have to take a shitstorm to be there. So it's not worth it in my opinion to do that. So what we've done, like every other CrossFitter who doesn't want to do CrossFit anymore, me and Dan's going to put a big shift in the Hyrox. Like again, we don't compete to come second or third. Like we're going for wins. So we're going to do doubles in Malaga. Maybe do London as well. Maybe do individual London pro. Maybe
that'd be cool.
Yeah. So big plans for that. So we're running a lot more. We're still keeping in our Olympic lifts. We're doing our programming. So this is the first time. So Dan's full time now. So we've never had a chance to train together. Like after being best mates for 12 years, like we've never had to train together. So now we have a chance to train together and push each other.
I'd say the pros of Hyrox are it's exactly the same every time. So you know exactly what you're training for. So you can really specialise.
Yeah.
CrossFit you can't quite do the same.
100%. And like
be so
going
varied.
from CrossFit as well, you have that lactate threshold a lot more than a lot of those other Hyroxers don't have. And you have that analytical efficiency with workouts and know how to attack them properly with pacing and you know what I mean. So like a lot of Hyroxers are blasting out the first minute and dying. They can't hold that. Like there's so many good runners doing it and just dying on the sled or dying somewhere.
Get to the wall balls and just crumble.
We're just gonna go. If anything, if we do bad in it, it's purely because we've been stupid at the rock zone or something, like doing like penalties or something. But we're definitely gonna put in a big shift for it.
Sounds good. I've decided next year to do a bit of a challenge for charity. It's gonna be me taking on 10 Murphs in 10 hours.
Oof. Jesus Christ.
Each Murph, there's going to be a sponsor.
Okay.
So it's a £60 donation from a brand. I was wondering if Hybrid Academy would like to sponsor a Murph.
Last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
You're in. Yeah, it's going to be...
Because that's when you need the hybrid mentality the most.
That's the one. So, yeah, I thought I could put on a bit of hybrid clothing for the final one.
For sure.
And I wanted to make myself accountable, so I wanted to say it on a podcast so that this has to happen.
Yeah, you're fucking nuts. Like, that's... Have you done Murph before?
I've done Murph before, yeah.
How's your hands gonna bear that?
It's 1,000 pull-ups.
Yeah.
And it's 32 kilometers of running. So I'm gonna have to have like running shoes and gonna have to get some good grips.
Yeah, very good grips. Probably someone. Yeah.
I've not really thought about it any more than just it's 1,000 pull-ups. It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah. 10
hours.
I'm thinking analytically how you're gonna hit it. You'd have to hit it like really slow and just try to just keep moving for 10 hours.
Yeah. It's a 10-hour workout. You can't go fast and try and recover because you won't be able to do it quick enough to recover. It's going to have to be basically 10 hours of Murph.
Are you doing it unpartitioned?
It's going to be... it's going to have to be partitioned.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be. Yeah. Otherwise, I'd be literally going...
You couldn't do a weighted vest either. That would just be suicide.
You'd just be going straight... It'd be going straight into the next one.
Yeah.
At high output. So...
Yeah. Get the analytics sorted.
I'll work out.
I'm interested.
It's going to be hard regardless, however I do it. But
yeah, I might come over and do one with you during it as well.
Well, that's the thing. I'm going to have people book on to come and do it. It'll be in Harrogate. So yeah, if you fancy just doing one.
That last one, can't believe it. I'm going to be spotting you in pull-ups like that.
Probably. Yeah. I'll do it though.
One more rep.
Yeah. But anyway, I wanted to get out there. So yeah, Hybrid Academy, Murph number 10. Sounds good. Yeah. A question from Carlos, the previous guest. He said, will you miss Tom when he goes to the North Pole to help Santa? And I
had you on there, like.
Yeah, he said it, and he said you've got to say it now. So, and then his more serious question was, who has made the biggest impact in your life?
Oof. Biggest impact in my life. I don't know if I go pure cliche here. Do you know what? No, because it's honest. My mum probably purely. My mum's a dog. Like when I say that, that's a good thing. Like, she's got the dog in her.
Yeah.
Just hard as nails. And if it wasn't for her mentality like that, I wouldn't be anywhere near
How you are now.
how I am now. Like,
yeah.
just resilient as fuck, really. And never gives up. Perfect example. She's 54 years old. Well, she was 54 years old. She rides horses. She was down taking a hack on her horse down the road, and on the main road, the horse spooked, threw her off, kicked her in the face, broke her nose. She was lying there in a heap. The horse ran across the road. She got up, chased the horse down, and then someone came over to see if she was alright, and she was dazed, didn't know where the fuck she was. And they were like, do you need help? Do you need anything? She's like, just jumped on her horse again.
Wow.
Rode back home. She broke her ankle, she broke her nose, she nearly broke her jaw, and she just jumped on the horse and rode home. Like, she's a dog.
That's gutsy.
Yeah.
But
And like things like that, anytime I'm hurting in a workout or mentally or physically in work, I'm like, just get fucking back on that horse. Like,
yeah, exactly.
it can't be that bad.
Literally.
Yeah, it can't be that
kicked in the
bad.
face, broken jaw,
Yeah.
broke her ankle. Back on it. Yeah.
100%.
Gonna do some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Favorite brand of grips?
I really like the Velites ones, the new ones, the no chalk.
Yep. What was your most painful tattoo?
Back. Oh my god.
There's some dark bits in there. Oh,
I've never tapped out of a tattoo until then, and I'm covered but my back was horrendous.
which part of the back?
The coloured in bits. Like, he had
It
was a needle. It was 72 needles, and he was just like
just the
my
screen.
body started like doing this fucking weird thing. Like, it was just moving by itself. Mental.
Wow. What's your worst gymnastic skill in CrossFit?
Love gymnastics.
None. Good answer. What's the best gym you've been to in England?
Best gym in England. I need to be careful here.
If it's going to get political and technical, just ignore it.
No, do you know what? Putney. CrossFit Putney. So sexy. What a gym. Also third space in London.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Mega.
What's your go-to hype song for a max lift?
Otis, Jay-Z, Kanye West. That's my PB song.
PB song.
Yeah.
And pre-workout extra. You just hold it up to the camera. Peter's going to probably be really annoyed at this, but...
Yeah, say nothing.
Brand new pre-workout extra, sour apple flavour. That is yours.
I can't wait. I'm not going to take it now because...
Don't have it now, it's quite late, but...
What's the milligrams? Jeepers. Yeah, that'll keep me alive.
Yeah, there's a few stims in there, so yeah, training next week. Enjoy. Yeah. And finally, where can people find you? Social media?
Yep, Rob the functional coach on Instagram. The gym name is Functional Coaching, and Hybrid Academy, of course, is all the handles. You're probably like me when you click the bottom of your Instagram. It's like 4 or 5 different pages. Yeah. Shit.
And WOD Pod 10 for Hybrid 10. Academy clothing.
Yep.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think that's everything. Thanks for jumping on.
Thank you very much.
Wicked.
Appreciate it.
Nice one. I hope you enjoyed that episode, and a huge thank you for listening. Make sure you're following the pod on Instagram at the.wod.pod, our Twitter at the_wod_pod. The podcast is sponsored by WOD Powders. That's at WOD Powders on Instagram. Please show some support to the pod by either sharing this episode with a mate or buying some supplements from wodpowders.co.uk. See you guys next week.